while since I've posted a trading video, so this is going to be a trade recap on today's trade, and it's going to be an ES trade, and pretty much I started a $50,000 Apex funded account that we're having a sale on, so I tried doing a Apex challenge in January, and I bought like 450k accounts, and it was just too much. Like this, like, I guess in a sense, like, the risk was still the same in a sense, but like January's sort of price action was kind of shit. I was trading the Nasdaq, uh, and I don't know, I just wasn't really following my plan, and it was too volatile and sort of stuff like that. And so I went back to my roots basically. I was listening to some old Twitter Spaces from ICT, and I just went back to my roots of five handles, ES, and yeah, just getting those little sort of base hits, I guess, really. Waiting for the setup, waiting for the displacement, waiting for the fair value gap, and basically just aiming for five handles. So this is what I was looking at. I was looking at, well, before this big move here at 11. I was looking at this fair value gap from London. Basically, I was sort of looking at it and going, okay, London took out Asia. Then we have the drop. Then we have multiple attempts in here to try and get up higher. And then I want to see continuation lower in New York. I don't really want to see London high taken out. I want to see continuation. London does the manipulation, and New York has the continuation. Now, I might be wrong, and it looks like I am going to be wrong here, on the daily range, in a sense, right? It's looking like it's going to take out London high, and the PM session's going to end up here somewhere, at 7100, or, well, maybe not 7100, but it looks like it's going to just keep going up for the rest of the day, in a sense. Now, I mean, I could be wrong on that regard too, though. But really, it's, I guess, like, I'm aiming for five handles. I'm trying to get my little move. So this was a premise. I liked that it was respecting this here. We have the midnight open. That's that red dotted line, and it was staying sort of around there. The bodies were staying around there. They were respecting that sells out imbalance while side inefficiency. And yeah, it's a little bit easier to see on the 1 minute. So where's 9:30 here? Let me just mark that out to make it easier for you guys. So this is basically what I was looking at. 9:30 opened. It sort of, in a sense, didn't really do much right at 9:30, like around here. I was watching the Nasdaq, so I have these two charts open on my other screen, and obviously left is ES, right is the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq uh, shot down, and then, as you can see, did a whole bunch of nothing. ES sort of went down, didn't really do too much, but then this little, let me just take the crosshair off, this little inefficiency here is where my trade was entered on. So, but yes, so the premise though too was where we were opening up here. Okay, the premise was we have a premium regular trading hours gap, regular trading hours on down here, and we want to see it go. Well, I wanted to see it fill in that gap, which is what we did, and it actually went lower than the gap. Um, but now it looks like we're we're running, yeah, a lot higher. NQ was dropped, traded around the middle and sort of that lower half, and then finally did take out the low and went a little bit lower as well. And so it sort of followed suit with ES. But ES had this setup here, so which is pretty much this little fair value gap just there. That was what I entered in on. The premise was I have a low just here, which was that low there. We took it out with displacement. I like to just mark my charts like that. That's sort of how I do my market structure shift. We stuffed around at the open just here, respecting that CB and respecting midnight open. We have the premise that we want to go down, well, at least to the midpoint, but I wanted to see it close the gap. Oh, that's the wrong chart. That's a British pound trade I've got going on. Yeah, so I entered short here. Like I put a limit order. As soon as this candle closed, I had my limit order like pretty much ready. And then as soon as this candle closed, because this candle has to close to make the fair value gap, right? So as soon as that candle closed, my order's in there. And I had a 5 handle stop on it, which was just up here. And I had a 5 handle target, which was just there. So, and then it basically, I took a little bit of heat on the drawdown, 4.25. I took a little bit of heat on the trade, which was, I mean, it was sort of a little bit nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. But I wasn't really trading with a great deal. I was trading with 5 micros. So, yeah, it was the first trade on the Apex account, so I was like, you know what, let me just go in with 5 micros. My standard risk is just going to be 1 mini, but I just went, you know what, first trade, which just use 5 micros, half of the risk, so 0.25% risk for a 50,000 account, and yeah, I just let it go. And then, as you can see there, now, okay, I left quite a bit on the table, right? Another 15 points. Okay, could I have aimed for the low or just above it, where's my, you know, could I have aimed for the low here and just above it and got, you know, almost 10 points, so that would have been a 2-to-1 trade. Yeah, I could have done that. But that's not what I set out to do. I went back to my roots, a few years ago, like, so it's 2026 now. In 2023, I passed a few funded accounts and I actually got a payout from Elite Trader Funding. And that was just doing this. 5 handles with ES. I was trading 1 mini and I actually managed to get a payout. My first payout back then and my only payout. And then I went through this whole process of, then I started trading the Nasdaq. Then I, switched to this, and then I tried to, you know, um, I don't know, I just was trying to do all these other things, instead of sticking to my model that worked and actually got me the payout. So I've kind of come full circle now, and we're going back to 5 handles, 1 trade a day, pretty much. Okay, or 1 trade per session. You know, if I trade the AM session and I get a win, I won't trade the rest of the day. If I take a loss, I can maybe come back in the PM session, depending on, uh, like, because I live in Australia, so depending on what I have on, later on or the next day, if I don't have work or something, I could stay up for the PM session. But yeah, pretty much just one trade a day, basically. 5 handles ES, that's it. You know, basically trade one mini contract. Okay, like I said, today was 5 micros, but this was the premise of the trade. Okay, so I just wanted to sort of, this is what I was looking at. Okay, we also had just below here, I was looking at these two relative equal lows. Um, so that was basically a nice draw. Um, Pretty much a lot of stuff sort of lined up today, and I was just like, yep, that just looks like it's going to go down. I could have been wrong, okay, you know, but I would just, everything was showing me that it's looking like it's going to go down, it's going to close the gap in, I've got relative equal lows, it's going to go down, and boom, get my five handles. So, and now I will show you the actual trade, and that was the trade there. $125, 5 micros on the Apex account, MES, micro ES, micro S&P, and that was the fair value gap there. Where's 930? 930 is just there, and that was a fair value gap, and then that was the run, and yeah, I mean, I left a bit on the table. Okay, all good. Don't care. I got my win today. That's all I needed. And as you can see there, $119 after commissions. So yeah, commission's slightly more on the micros, but I don't really care. But anyway, first trade on the Apex, 50,000, and yeah, yeah. I mean, what is it? We got it's $3,000, I believe, is the target. I can't lose more than 2,000. So yeah, trailing drawdown to or 2,120 now. But yeah, that's the trade today. That's the recap. That was the premise. That was the idea. That was a trade idea, and I'm going to be doing the series like I'm going to be oh, that's what I was. Hold on, give me 1 second here. All right. Uh, I totally forgot that I recorded the trade. So let me just skip along here. I want to. This is the opening. Let me just skip along. I'm gonna get to where I'm just setting up my 5 points. My 5 points here. I realized that this was in ticks, so I had to make this 20 ticks. It's basically just like a little automatic order. So when I click market, it puts my stop and stuff in. So let me just go across to where the fair value gap comes into play here. Yeah, see, oh, okay, so this was the boom, that displacement just there, um that was like the, oh, okay, we might have a trade set up here for me, you know. So just here, next candle, um just gonna skip across. As you can see, I have it ready. I have it ready. So as soon as this candle closes, it creates the fair value gap, and then I have my limit order ready. But I don't place the limit. You don't place the limit order until, see, because it can do that. It can it can still come up. So I have it sitting here, and we'll watch as soon as the next, or as soon as this candle closes. Um, there we go. Okay, I put it there. 5 handle stop up there, and 5 handle target just there. So, and then there we go. Order gets filled there. 5 micros. I'm just kind of skipping ahead here. I suppose I could actually go playback. Speed. Playback. I, sh I should have done this. I should have done this before. I tell you what, getting used to trading views like latency is so much different. Trade of 8's latency is so much different compared to trading view. Trading view's like laggy, you know. Um, this was sort of what I was looking at. I didn't know how to draw the line, but I want to see it go down, back below the fair value gap, then come back up, touch the bottom of it, and then obviously run. So let me just, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll just speed it up a little bit more. We're back below the fair value gap. I think it goes, it sort of comes up one more time after that. But yeah, this is just, it's just a waiting game, you know. But this is what sort of this channel is going to be. It's just going to be like a video log for me, really. I mean, I'm not even really doing it for any. I moved my stop there down to that high. I'm okay with that. Um, I basically don't want to see it really do that. I basically want to see it just be heavy from now on. So if it comes back and stops me out, I'm probably wrong on the trade. It spent too much time retracing here. It needs to, go in my favor and respect this fair value gap now. Otherwise, it's probably going to stop me out, which is why I moved my stop down. Try and cut some risk. So, and I think this is the candle. Yep, that's the candle. So, and I always just cancel all orders and stuff. So, but yeah, I'll pause it there. But yeah, that's the trade. So I will. So I will. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, this is just sort of this channel. I'm going to be putting up trade recaps. I'm going to be pretty much trading almost every like AM session. Uh, I say almost every because like I work shift work and I have like a set roster, so some days are going to be harder than others. Some days I might trade on my phone at work. I don't really like doing that, but if I see something, I might. And I had the time to sit down and really focus at work, I might do that. But those are the sort of, unfortunately, I won't be able to record those trades unless I do like a screen record on my phone or something like that. But I'll still do like a trade recap in a sense. So I'll still do something like that. But yeah, pretty much every day, morning session, I'm just going to log my journey on the Apex evaluation, and the premise behind the account is simply 5 handles ES, one trade per day, one mini contract, and then that's it. If I blow the account, I blow the account. If I pass, I pass. Like, I'm not doing anything different, basically, and I'm going to hold myself to that uh, by not doing anything different. It's just that is what it is. So, yeah, thanks for watching.